friends, welcome to Bookish Bliss, our virtual book club. Every week we will dig into a section of chapters in our favorite books. Let's get started.
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 69 of Bookish Bliss. We have a lot to discuss today.
This week we are covering The Assassin and the Healer, the second story of Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. So you don't have to read the whole book to listen, you just have to be caught up on the story we're covering.
Yes.
If you don't want to listen to the last story, you don't have to, but you do have to listen to this story to listen to this episode.
That's true, actually. For the first time, they don't have to listen to the episode before.
Yep.
They don't have to listen to part one.
So if you just want to listen about Irene Towers and Selena Sardouthian, this is the episode for you.
Yes.
Amanda, darling, what are you drinking tonight?
Caillouge, my ginger lime mule polar seltzer. Sponsor me.
Nice.
What are you drinking tonight?
Katie Marshall put in a Spindrift soda into my new birthday picnic basket thing she got me. And it does have 32 calories to it and 5 grams of sugar, but it is a ginger ale flavor. And I thought I would try it because I thought you would have one of your healthy ginger ales.
Yes.
And
there's no sugar in this, but
yeah. So obviously it still is
4 calories.
Is a soda. But I
As
think
bad,
a regular Canada Dry has like 200, 300 calories in it or something crazy.
Yeah, and it's like 30 grams of sugar.
Yeah, it's like straight up sugar. On my cheat night sometimes, because we all know I had a straight up addiction to ginger ale, I will literally choose to drink a ginger ale instead of alcohol sometimes because one, I'm having a problem drinking alcohol just like with my medication. I think it just doesn't want me to do it. So sometimes I just like, I can't. So
Yeah.
I'm like, let me have a little sugar. Sometimes I just need the high. I sound like an
The
addict.
sugar high.
I'm like, I need a sugar high.
It's serious. The addiction to soda is serious. That's why I literally can't drink it anymore because I was so obsessed. I would drink like a pack of cans a day, no matter what flavor it was.
No, I was like, yeah, with ginger ale, I would just keep drinking. Like it was water. Such a disaster, but great news for me. I just hit my 50-pound weight loss.
Woo!
I'm so excited.
And the crowd goes wild.
Woo! I'm so excited.
I know. I'm so proud of you.
Me and Amanda are about to have hot girl summer. Just kidding.
If my pool ever gets clean.
I know. I can't wait to go in the pool.
No, I can't wait either. It's going to be so nice this week.
I know. I don't think I have any bookish news, but we do have a new Discord member.
Yay!
So I just wanted to shout her out really quickly, Mom with Joy. So
Yay.
Thank you for joining our Discord.
Thank you. I'm so excited to talk about Silver Elite. I read a lot of chapters today.
I read.
I'm playing catch up.
I read 2 since the last time we recorded.
Oh, I thought you were going to say today.
No, but my plan is after we finish recording, I am going to read a couple chapters. I've just been so addicted to listening to Zodiac Academy on audiobooks. And it's not even graphic audio because I know there are graphic audios and I want to listen to those as well. But like right now, I'm like weirdly addicted to just the regular audio.
Yeah.
I'm just having problems. I think it's because like
and Love Island too.
Yes. I think it's because I have so many books that I have to read that I'm just getting super overwhelmed that I'm just reading Assassin's Blade and listening to Zodiac Academy because everyone else is just stressing me out.
It's been a week for Megan already, and it's Thursday. Actually, it's Monday.
I'm like, I have to read. Listen to how many I have to read. Amanda has just as many, but she is functioning way better than I am. So we're reading, obviously, Assassin's Blade for the podcast. We're reading Silver Elite for the Discord. We have The Unmaking of June Farrow for our in-person book club. I'm reading God of the Woods for our Sisterhood of the Traveling Books. And I'm just like, that is 4 that need my attention right now. And I'm in the middle of a program at work and I'm like, no.
Can't do it.
No.
I know.
The only
It is a
difference
lot.
is you're reading Nocticadia instead of God
Yeah.
of the Woods.
Yeah. But I'm like trying to kill Silver Elite because we got to read it by this weekend.
Is it this weekend?
It's this Sunday. Yes.
Okay. Well, I better get on that. I will have to say an update from the last time we talked on the podcast when I had just read 1 through 6 and I was like not feeling it. I will say that I did enjoy chapters 7 and 8.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I like it from the start, but I think it's getting really good.
I think the writing was better in 7 and 8 too because the beginning was just not it. It was we know how I feel from last episode.
We do. Megan, I just realized we never even cheers.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Cheers to episode 69 of Bookish Bliss and part 2 of Assassin's Blade, Assassin the Healer. Cheers.
Cheers.
I didn't even crack this open. I cheersed you before I cracked it. I'm like nervous to try this.
Live review.
That is disgusting.
Really? And she takes another sip.
It's like the smell too. It's like really gingery and limey. And it's not like combined well, I think. Sorry, Spindrift. Don't sponsor us.
We'll stick with Polar.
Well, I'm so sad.
Yeah.
Oh, there's apple juice in here. That's why.
Oh.
So it's carbonated water, apple juice, lime juice, lemon juice, ginger juice, and lime extract.
Interesting.
It's like the smell that hit you first. Hold on. I got to get some water because this is not okay.
She's back with water, folks.
I'm back with water.
Yeah.
I should have just did that to begin with. But I'm like, oh, Katie gave me 3 different kinds of Spindrift, and I don't know if I'm going to try the other 3.
Well, it's funny because you literally made the most disgusted face, and 2 seconds later, you're like...
Well, because it's just so weird. I wish you were here. I wish we were recorded together so you could smell this. I'm going to purposely go out of my way to buy a Spindrift
just so I can taste it.
Yeah.
Are we ready to start?
I think so, darling.
Our shortest discussion ever, I think. 6 chapters.
Well, this is actually a short story.
Yeah, like a short story.
I loved it. I was like, right to the point. Perfect.
Done. Yeah.
Yeah. The next one is a little daunting. I'm not excited about it.
Oh, God. I'm scared. But before we get there, let's get started with the good stuff and break down Assassin's Blade Part 2. Here we go. Chapter 1. In her POV, Irene, a barmaid at the White Pink Inn in Inish, observed a mysterious wealthy woman. The woman, who appeared no older than 20, occupied the best room, wore a heavy hood, and carried an array of weapons. She notably skipped the suspicious meat soup, but consumed a considerable amount of wine and ale, maintaining composure throughout the night. Nolan, the inn's owner, eagerly catered to the young woman after spotting an egg-sized ruby on her gold brooch, clearly hoping to profit from her wealth. Irene, tired of her extended stay at the inn and her disproportionate share of the dirty work and meager tips since Jessa, Nolan's favorite, took the lion's share of what was left after Nolan got his share, found herself intrigued by the woman. Upon receiving an ale and bread, the woman's polite thank you struck Irene as cultured and educated, sparking numerous questions about her identity, origin, destination, and the use of her many weapons. Irene attempted to glimpse her face, but only shadows lingered beneath the hood. Meanwhile, Selena, the mysterious woman, detested the worthless inn and its miserable occupants. Unbeknownst to them, she was a week shy of her 17th birthday. Her forced stay was punishment from Arabin Hamel for sabotaging his slave trade agreement with the pirate lord, an act she remained proud of despite her current resentment towards Arabin. Trapped in this dump of a tavern in a pathetic port town, which had suffered since the Darling's conquest redirected trade, she awaited a ship to Yurpa, as the alternative, trekking through the feral Bagdano jungle, was unthinkable. Selena avoided mirrors, her face still a bruised landscape of purple, blue, and yellow, with a black eye and a split lip. Brutal reminders of Arabin's retribution for freeing 200 slaves and making an enemy out of the pirate lord. Yet she affirmed to herself that it was always worth it. In the past 2 weeks, Selena had sought solace in brawls, caring little for the unconscious body she left behind. It was the only time she felt like herself, a Darling's greatest assassin and Arobyn's heir, prompting her to brazenly display her gold ruby brooch, a 16th birthday gift from Arobyn, actively courting trouble. She was set to depart at dawn for the deserted land, where further punishment awaited her at the Red Desert, training with the Mute Master of Assassins for a month. A tempting thought of abandoning it all and sailing to the southern continent for a new life flickered, but the certainty of Arobyn's relentless pursuit, combined with the unresolved fate of Sam, held her back. Though Selena should be avoiding confrontation that night, Selena felt neither smart nor level-headed as the inn's atmosphere grew thick and wild, howling for blood.
Well.
Dun, dun, dun! There's a lot to unpack there.
Dun, dun. Yes.
I have to say, I know we learn a lot about Irene right away, but it did not click for me right away that she was going to be the healer.
Oh.
I just thought it was setting the scene for the bar. This maid comes over, she's like, who's this mysterious woman? And it's Selena. And then I'm like, oh shit. Later I'm like, okay, she's the healer.
Irene Towers is in fact the healer.
Indeed.
And I do have to say, coming back to this story in particular, even the last one was just because
oh shit,
it's just setting so much up, and
yeah,
I loved revisiting this story.
I had a feeling she was going to be very involved in the rest of the series.
Well, I can't say anything.
Well, I love that Irene thinks that she's so cultured and educated from her little thank you that she says. I'm like, okay. You learn all that from just her little thank you.
Well, maybe nobody says thank you at the White Pig Inn.
I guess not. If you seem cultured and educated just for being polite.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
And she's wondering all these things, just like everybody wonders about her, who the fuck she is, where she's going, and what the hell she does with all those weapons.
Not anything good.
Not anything good. Hell no. Selena is pissed, though, that she's here in this nasty-ass, pathetic little town with these people that are miserable all around her, and she wants nothing more than to beat them all to a pulp.
She has a lot of anger burning inside of her at the moment.
Yeah. But I love that we learned that she's a week shy of her 17th birthday. It's crazy to me every time her age is put in perspective.
She's young.
I can't fucking believe she's not even 17.
Yeah, she's so young in Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight too, but yeah, she's a young little babe taking on the world.
Yeah, she's so small. It's crazy. I was just a crazy, obsessed with cheerleading teenager. And this bitch is assassinating grown-ass men. Okay.
You could have assassinated men with your back tuck.
Probably. So we know she's here because Arobyn is punishing her for sabotaging the trade agreement with the pirate lord.
Mm-hmm.
And he beat the shit out of her, gave her basically a bruised face.
Yep.
Split lip, black eye, insane. This little fucking 16-year-old. And it's kind of scary that she says she has no idea what the hell happened to Sam.
That is worrying.
Yeah.
It's troublesome.
Sure. Especially because of the emphasis you put on the next story.
Oh, no. It's way more devastating than that.
Oh, no.
Well, but you know how Sam dies.
Well, yeah, I do, but I feel like reading about it is going to hit me more, even though I already know.
I think it's the last story. I lied, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for lying to me.
You're welcome.
And this pathetic place is not even her real punishment. It's the Red Desert, where she's going to be training with the Mute Master of Assassins. That sounds scary as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that's going to go for her. For a whole month? No wonder she's a fucking badass.
She might have some
bitch.
Adjustment periods. But yeah, I mean, I think Arobyn, it's a punishment, but also not at the same time, because she's going to gain so much from learning from this Mute Master of Assassins.
Yeah, I feel like he just wants to make it as miserable as possible.
Well, yeah, she's going to be in the middle of a fucking desert.
Yeah, literally.
Yuck.
Crazy. She's thinking about abandoning everything and just going to the southern continent for a new life, but she's got to figure out what happened to Sam, and she knows Arabin will never stop fucking hunting her, which is scary as fuck. So here we are.
Which makes us think, obviously, we know Selena's fate at the end of this book as well, but it almost makes me wonder why we didn't see Arabin in Crown of
Mm.
Midnight, just knowing her being like, I know he would go to the ends of the earth to basically find me. Why didn't we see him? And
Well,
is he planning? Because he obviously had to have heard that
yeah,
she
I
was the
think
king's assassin or whatever, king's champion.
yeah, I think he definitely is waiting for his moment to come. He definitely knows. He's not dumb.
Yeah.
He's got people everywhere
Yeah,
all the time.
for sure.
But
Crazy.
also, now we're gonna beat some motherfuckers up. She's ready for
Oh,
some blood.
yes. All right. Chapter 2. Irene felt a shift in the atmosphere. The energy in the room had turned taut, tense, like all the men were posed to fight, steal, or chase after the mysterious hooded girl near the old clock at the back of the bar. She considered warning the girl, telling her to slip away quietly and board her ship before someone slit her throat. But she knew her boss wouldn't like that. He would probably toss her out onto the street. Her thoughts turned to her mother, who would have warned the girl without hesitation. Her mother had never turned away the sick or the wounded, no matter how poor they were when they arrived at their tiny cottage in southern Fenharrow. A gifted healer with magic, her mother had only faltered once, when a Darlin soldiers came to their door. By then, magic had already vanished. Her mother had told the soldiers that, but the soldiers hadn't listened. They burned her mother alive. Yet before they did, her mother managed to take one of them down, buying Irene just enough time to escape. A burst of laughter snapped her back to the present. 4 mercenaries at a corner table were calling her over. She lied and said she had a husband, then walked away. Just 40 more minutes until last call.
Uh-oh.
Selena leaned against the wall, disappointed. Not one man in the bar had taken the bait. She was itching for a fight. Sam would have said she was being reckless, stupid even. She
Yep.
didn't know what had become of him. She's contemplating this again for the second chapter in a row after the Skull Bay incident, but she'd like to think of him as a friend now. She'd been toying
Mm.
with the idea of starting her own guild and even imagined inviting Sam to join her. When she got back to her room and found no one had followed her, her frustration boiled over. Fine, if no one was going to bring her trouble, she'd have to go out and find it herself. By the time the bar had emptied, Irene was relieved that no fight had broken out, and she was now thinking about the past again. She had been 11 when the soldiers had murdered her mother. Afterwards, she had gone to live with some distant relatives on a farm, but the dream of becoming a healer never left her. At 18, she set off for Antigua to study at the Tor Sesame, the most prestigious academy for healers in the world. But her coin had run out in Inish, and she'd been stuck working at the White Pig Inn ever since. All of a sudden, her thoughts were brought back to the present because those same 4 mercenaries from in the bar earlier had returned, coming up the alley, and one grabbed her by the throat, but then Selena appeared in the mist, and the killing began.
Yep.
So we're finding out a lot about Irene in this
Yeah.
section. We find out that her mother had been a gifted healer with magic and that Irene also had magic before magic had disappeared. But
Mhm.
the soldiers from Adarlan did not care about that and they still set her mother ablaze, which is
Ugh,
devastating.
that's
And
crazy.
this was the only time Irene had ever seen her mother do anything bad. She was
Yeah,
defending herself basically and did kill one of the soldiers. And Irene was able to escape and run away, which obviously was to help her daughter.
right.
But
Almost the same trauma here because Selena, Sam, all these people are so young when their parents are, like, brutally murdered in front of them.
I know it
It's
is
insane.
really crazy. But she talks about having a strong stomach and she really wants to be a healer. And when she
Yeah.
turned 18, she's like, that's what I'm going to go do. But she's been stuck at this fucking shithole for
Ugh,
almost a year. She has no end in sight because all her wages are being taken away by this fucking
yeah.
Nolan.
They're fucking taking advantage of her, I can't stand them.
And now she doesn't have enough money to buy food, never mind board a ship to Antigua.
Yeah, and I have to say, I did call Selena, giving her the money at the end. I'm like, she definitely is gonna get her to this school.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like just like the whole title of the chapter, The
Yeah,
Assassin and the Healer, we know that Selena's gonna help her out after they meet.
100%, yeah. Well, especially because I feel like, yeah, she's flaunting all her jewelry and her bags of coins, but looking for a fight, but I feel like there's a little bit of foreshadowing there too, like,
Mm.
Irene knows she's a rich bitch.
Yeah, no, for sure. But how do you feel about Selena calling Sam a friend?
I know. The slow burn is burning.
The slow burn is burning. Well, I think after they saw that they actually had a lot in common when they were in
Yeah,
Skull's Bay together, and they, for once, didn't have to work as adversaries, they could
right.
work together
Yeah,
for the same purpose and not try to be pitted against each other. I
yeah.
think they saw different sides of each other. Even though I think Sam already loved her, I think Selena's warming up to him.
Oh, 100%. She's worried about him in 2 chapters now about what happened to him,
I
so
know. And she's like, maybe if I start my own.
he'll come with her.
Yeah.
Aw,
Sad.
sad.
Well, we don't have to think about that yet.
Okay, thank God. Common in this book as well, with the Darlin fucking conquering the continent and stealing the magic away and more people being affected.
Jesus.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Those 4 little shitheads from the bar earlier did not like Irene's answer, and now they're gonna die.
Yep, they are. This is exactly what Selena wanted.
Like, bingo, you're done. You're done.
Chapter 3. Stepping towards the 2 remaining attackers, Selena faced a mercenary who demanded to know if she had killed his men. Her curt reply, they hadn't come in, preceded her swift knockout of the man. She followed his falling body into the concealing fog. Irene, the barmaid, saw the last mercenary guarding the door flee down the alley. Selena emerged from the fog, blades clean but ready. Irene, terrified, pleaded for her life, unaware Selena had no intentions of harming her, having just inadvertently saved her from the mercenaries.
Yeah.
The fight, too easy and quick, left Selena unfulfilled. She felt no urge to pursue the fourth assailant, nor to further frighten the barmaid by throwing a dagger at him. Irene then pointed out Selena's bleeding arm, offering to tend to it. Selena initially refused, but Irene invoked Silba, the goddess of healing, a rare gesture that sparked Selena's curiosity. Irene then confessed her mother was a healer and had taught her some skills. Selena lectured Irene on exercising caution on such a volatile night, given the palpable aggression in the tavern. However, Irene skillfully redirected the conversation, redoing her offer to bind Selena's wound before she lost her arm. Without another word, Selena followed her inside, leaving the mercenaries' bodies to the rats in the alley, knowing no one else would bother with them. Oh shit!
Oh, boy.
This fucking guy thinks he's big and bad, being like, oh, it was you who killed my men? Only to die in the fog.
Yes.
The last guy goes running. She doesn't even care at this point. She's like, let him go. Bring more people. I'm unfulfilled still.
I know. She could have fought them a little bit more than just stabbing them if she really wanted to get some aggression out.
Literally. And I think it's funny. She's like, well, Irene's fucking terrified, so I won't throw a dagger at this guy's back running away.
Yeah, well, she was shaking.
Literally. But I think it's funny though that she was so blunt with her. She's like, bitch, I just fucking saved you. Why would I kill you?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
She's like,
So she's like, you know what? Let me heal you up.
yeah, let me do you a favor then.
Yeah, so we learn about Silva, the goddess of healing, for the first
Mm,
time. I love some goddess talk.
yeah.
And Selena knows right away that she's a healer when she mentions this. She's like, nobody knows that unless you're a healer or your mother is and taught you a thing or two.
Yeah, or like nobody really mentions the gods anymore since magic
Yeah.
has disappeared and a Darlin has kind of taken over everywhere. It's kind of like a taboo
Mhm.
thing to even bring up the gods.
Yeah. I can only picture this conversation because to me, Irene is older than Selena because she
Mhm.
calls her like a girl and blah, blah, blah.
Well, she's only
So
like a couple years older.
I know, but I don't know why, but I'm picturing like an older woman. And Selena's just like lecturing her. She's like, "What were you thinking being out here alone by yourself on this night? You felt the energy in the bar. I know you did."
Yeah. Well, I guess she is 16 and Irene is 18, probably almost 19 at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. At that age, you feel so much older at 19 than 16.
Yeah.
It's just so funny, but, they're not gonna die. Irene's not gonna die. Selena's not gonna kill her, and now she's gonna fix up her arm before she loses it.
That's lovely.
That's lovely. Short little chapter for me.
I was pissed.
I was pissed.
They were all kind of short, but I feel like mine were like
Yeah.
the longest.
Per usual.
Per usual. Chapter 4. Irene brought Selena to her room, then left to gather supplies to treat her wounds, knowing Nolan would deduct the cost from her pay. When she returned, Selena had removed her cloak, and Irene was surprised by how young and beautiful she was, despite the exhaustion in her eyes. She also noticed the bruises Arabin had left on her. As Irene cleaned her wounds, she tried to learn Selena's name, but Selena wouldn't share it. Instead, Selena questioned why the daughter of a healer was stuck in a town like this. Irene gave a brief explanation of her past, and Selena responded that life is hard everywhere. You'll make choices you think are right and suffer for them. So if Irene was going to be miserable, she may as well be miserable in Antigua. Irene shared that she had lost her mother 8 years ago and noticed a spark of rage in Selena's eyes at the mention of the king. Changing the subject, Selena asked what Irene would do if she became a healer. Irene replied that she would return to Fenharrow to help people because it was the right thing to do.
What a nice lady.
She's a nice lady. You're acting like she's 40 years old.
That's what it feels like to me.
She's not. She's
I
so
have age
young.
dysmorphia.
Selena told Irene that she needed to be able to defend herself and offered to teach her. In the alley behind the inn, she showed Irene basic self defense moves: how to gouge an eye, clap ears, stomp a foot, strike the groin, and never let someone take you to a second location. Scream about a fire, draw attention, and run the moment you're free. Irene picked up the techniques quickly, so quickly, in fact, that she made Selena gag with a well placed throat strike. Selena told Irene that if she ever got the chance, she should teach these moves to other women. Before dawn, more men entered the alley, and Selena sent Irene back inside the inn while she stayed behind to face them.
Ooh, they came back for more.
This alley is just bad luck.
I know.
This whole town fucking sucks.
Well, it's funny because Irene's like, "Oh, we should move to do your arm in case these guys come back, but let's go back in the alley after, and you can show me everything."
I know. Well, I guess they didn't want to like really be doing that inside of the inn
Yeah,
in case the stupid boss showed up. But yeah, it was probably
yeah.
not the best idea to be
No.
going back out into the alley.
Yeah, no.
But I just love how selfless like Irene is. She knows
Yeah.
like she has no money, but she's like using the cost of these supplies to bandage up Selena. But
Mhm.
also, more surprising than that is Selena took off her hood and mask and disguise and
I
showed Irene
know.
Towers her face.
Wild.
She still doesn't give her name, but she sees everything. She sees her hair, her face, what she looks like, and all the black and blue
Yeah.
bruises that Arabin had given her.
I feel like she knows she's just good people. She
Yeah.
used to have magic or her family had magic. She wants to be a healer because it's the right thing to do to help people, so she knows she's good people.
Yes. And Selena's just given this great advice left and right. She's like, life is full of being miserable, and you might as
Literally.
well go be miserable where you want to be miserable because you're going to make choices that you think are right, but you're going to suffer for them. It's like,
I
wow.
know.
Obviously, she's still like reeling from freeing the slaves because she knew that that was the right thing to do, but now she's
Yeah,
suffering from those
exactly.
choices.
Literally.
So she's not wrong in her advice, but she's maybe a little bitter.
Yeah. Maybe just a little.
Yes. Love that Irene used that because it's the right thing to do. And
Mhm.
that's kind of what Selena was saying to Rolf. when he's like, why do you care about all these slaves? She's like, because it's the right thing to do. And if we don't care, who will? And so I think that's another reason why Celaena wants to help Irene, like teach her how to defend herself, and ends up giving her the money, because I think she just sees, obviously we keep saying Irene's a good person, but she probably can just see like the same kind of values and morals that she has in Irene.
Yeah.
So she takes her back out into this dreaded alley and teaches her some self-defense moves that me and Amanda learned in
I was literally thinking the same thing. I'm like, this is fucking Chuck teaching us how to fend off a guy at boxing. While I was reading it and when you read that summary, I'm like, Chuck. Love that. Love that guy.
The second they let you go, you run. That's I can hear him say.
I can hear him say, stick your fingers in his eye.
But it's true. And then I love that Irene is like, I'm going to teach this to Jessa. And Celaena's like, you should teach this to as many females as you can. And I hope you do that.
Oh, girl power.
Girl power.
Yeah.
But before we could do the girly hug, which I don't think Celaena would ever do, more men show up in this alley.
Yep, because we're in the same alley we were a couple hours ago.
Yes.
Chapter 5, and my last chapter of the night. From the kitchen, Irene heard the violent clamor of swords and shouting, knowing Celaena didn't have the element of surprise like earlier. Peeking out, she saw 2 men already dead, while 3 other actively battled Celaena. Suddenly, a mercenary grabbed Irene from behind, holding a dagger to her throat and forcing her outside. With 2 more blades pointed at Celaena, the man ordered her to drop her weapons. Celaena defiantly replied, come and get him, bitch.
Bitch.
She didn't say bitch, but I'm adding that.
We're going to say bitch.
Inspired by her fighter mother and utilizing the self-defense tricks Celaena had just taught her, Irene broke free from her captor. Celaena swiftly finished off the remaining 3 men and, with a smile, complimented Irene. Wow, fast learner. Irene, however, was overcome with nausea and began vomiting, prompting Celaena to warily question her aspiration to be a healer. Furious, Irene confronted Celaena for allowing her to be endangered, to which Celaena, in her defense, admitted she underestimated the men and saw an opportunity for Irene to practice, now knowing her capabilities. Before disappearing into the mist, Celaena advised Irene to claim ignorance of the night's events, suggesting a robbery as an explanation for the bodies. Still seething, Irene let Celaena leave without a word of goodbye.
Oh, girl power is over.
That was quick.
Yeah.
She literally plans this from the beginning, though. She knows that these are fucking stupid guys, like jokes.
Yeah.
I think she calls them.
Yeah. She's like, they're nothing.
Yeah. So she's like, yeah, come and get it. And then, gives Irene this chance to get away from her captor and compliments her. She's a fast learner. She fucking did it. Yeah, even though Irene's like, you just said they were jokes. She's like, yeah, for me.
Yeah, she's like, this was a controlled environment. I had everything under control.
Yeah, she's like, controlled?
She's like, there was a dagger pressing into my throat. I'm bleeding.
Literally, she vomits, and Celaena's like, what's the matter? You can't handle blood? You want to be a healer? Are you sure?
You sure about that?
She's sure, though.
Yeah.
They kind of get into a little tizzy, and it doesn't resolve. She kind of just disappears, and Irene's like, good riddance. Fuck off.
They really have no reason to work it out.
No, they're like, okay, bye. You saved my life. I learned something. You're crazy. Okay, bye.
Go get out of your ship and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Literally. Thanks for your inspiring words, your motivational talks. Now get the fuck out.
She's like, I just wanted to throw the trash out and go to bed.
Literally.
In the last chapter of the night.
Yes.
Chapter 6. Irene went to change and wash the blood from her clothes in the kitchen. It was still early, and she knew she'd have to be up for the rest of the day. It was going to be a long one. When she returned to her room, she found a pouch of gold on her bed, along with Celaena's ruby brooch. A note lay beside them. For wherever you need to go, and then some. The world needs more healers.
Aww.
I know, it made me so emotional reading that, and I think just knowing what happens later on, I literally started crying when I read that last night.
Of course.
just emotional. I'm also on my period, so everything is making me emotional. Amanda didn't call me back yesterday, like right away, and she was taking a nap and I was crying. I'm just kidding, but I was like sad.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had no idea.
I was like, I'm gonna talk to her all day.
I was sleeping.
No, it's fine.
Actually, that phone call woke me up. It just took me a minute to get up.
Oh, so funny. Okay. Irene was stunned. Though her mother had once believed the gods had abandoned them, Irene still held faith that they were watching and that they had sent the stranger into her life. The world now lay open before her if she was brave enough to take the first step. No one stopped her as she walked out of the White Pig Inn, and she didn't look back. Literally. Meanwhile, Selena had boarded her ship before dawn and had gone below deck to her room. She would need to be more careful now after giving Irene most of her gold and the ruby brooch. She told herself she had meant to pay for the bandages anyway, but when she paused outside of Irene's door and heard her washing her clothes, something in her had shifted. Maybe the gods were still out there. Maybe something greater had been at work. She hoped that one day Irene Towers would return to this continent, trained at the tour, and help heal a world so deeply broken. Finally, Selena allowed herself to relax and drifted into sleep.
Aww.
Isn't it just like emotional? Like, does that make you
so
sad?
Cute. It makes me happy, actually.
Like, sad in a good way. Like, it just makes me like so teary. Like,
Megan's crying.
It's just so
for those who are not watching.
It's like beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
I love that note. Forever you need to go and then some. The world needs more healers.
Yeah, that was so cute. And I definitely can't wait for her to be back in the story. I feel like she is going to rock it.
Yeah, she's definitely going to rock it. I do love Irene Towers, and I can't wait to watch you meet her again later down the line.
I can't wait. I could do without the Pirate Lord. But Irene, I'm like, I need her back already.
Yeah. So funny. I would say that Irene has a bigger part than the Pirate Lord. I mean, he does come back into the story, but I would say that Irene is a bigger feature. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Just as I suspected. It's funny how this was the shortest story and at least touched me more than the pirate one.
Yeah, I would say this is like my favorite story out of the Assassin's Blade.
Oh, it was so good.
So good.
I can't believe we're already story number 3.
Yeah.
We're going to be more than halfway done after next week.
We're going to go meet the mute.
We're going to go
the master mute assassin. Wait, what is
Meet the master mute assassin.
What is he?
Yeah. Is the mute master of the assassins?
Oh, the mute master of assassins, not master mute assassin.
Who knows? I guess we'll have to read to find out.
One of those.
One of them.
We're going to the desert.
We're going to the desert for a punishment.
Yeah, I would never go to the desert.
Why? I love the desert.
I've actually never been to the desert, so I can't
No,
say
it's literally so hot but dry, and it feels so good. Like you're not sweating. It's just like heat on your skin. You're just like, oh,
like
I love it.
Like you're a little lizard.
Just a little lizard chilling in the desert.
All right, we're a little delirious. Let's wrap this up.
All right, that's all we have for you today. Please let us know what you think by leaving us a review and comments on any of the platforms you are listening/watching on or on our social media pages. This helps tremendously to get the word out and lead more listeners to find our show and tune in. And come join our book club Discord. You can find the link in our bios on Insta and TikTok. And this month we are reading Silver Elite by Danny Francis. You only have a couple more days to read it, so hurry up. We love chatting with you guys, so don't be shy.
Don't forget to email, follow, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and tell all your friends about us. And we hope the rest of your day is blissful. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. Join us next week for part 3 of Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas, covering the assassin and the desert. Happy reading!